Hey, this is JT, once again making a video after I've done something. Oh well. This is horizontal boring. So if you do not have the capability to bore horizontally, but you have a drill, you actually do have the capability to bore horizontally. Why in the world would you want to do that? Well, let's see if it'll, no, I can't change the, there you go, you can change the camera, you just have to stop first. I have all these rails for my stairwell, and I need to bore horizontally, because try to get that in the exact center. I'm putting a peg into each one. There's 90 of these things. Cow holy. Anyways, 3/4 or 5/8 inch hammer drill. Why the hammer drill? Well, no reason really, except that it doesn't get used too much, and it's got a big motor. I can just let it run for a longer period of time. Plus, it fits the big bit that I'll ultimately use. Because with these 1/2 inch fluted dowel pins, you see, they're actually smaller than 1/2 inch, so I've got to use 1360, no, not 1364, 3164, 31/64 drill bit, and it fits just fine. But first, excuse me, with all my moving around, I made this little guy. So you can see there a center hole punch for 1 1/16 inch square post. And then I use my punch, little Harbor Freight special, and I've already center punched all of these. Now I have a 3/16 inch bit here, and that'll drill a pilot hole. Because just to try to drill into, that is 80-year-old oak purlins from a tobacco barn, so they are really hard. But to try to drill with this 31/64 drill bit directly in there without any kind of pilot hole is like murder. And yes, I do have a Forstner bit that is handy and does drill a little bit better into it, but it's too big. 1/2 inch is too big for a 1/2 inch fluted dowel pin. So anyways, that's how I'll do it. I'll try to show real quickly. It doesn't have to spin too fast when you're going into oak. Just take one. Have a little hole there for the dust to escape. There it goes. We'll do the next side. There we go. So a little post there to let me push against it. This base is screwed down to the tabletop, and this base is screwed down to that base with some shims to make sure that it's perfectly on the same plane as this bit. And I did not put any kind of support for the bit. Didn't really need it, especially with this big old hunker. And you just create friction. Oh well, I'll continue the video once I put the big bit in. Okay, it really didn't take too long to drill all those. I drilled on both sides. In fact, it didn't take long at all, just minutes with the 3/16 bit. So now I've got it set up for the 31/64 bit, and you can see here I want to go in just a little more than 3/4 inches because my fluted dowel pins are 1.5 inches each. So I'll give the rail 3/4 inch, and I'll give the top rail 3/4 inch. I don't know all the terminology for it technically, but anyhow, so all this is set up to put the point in exactly the center of the rail, but because that's really hard oak and the grains are different hardness, it'll want to divert the bit, and you can see that the head of the well, maybe you can't see, but I can see it. The head here, the chuck, has some play to it. It's a new drill. There's nothing wrong with it. They're just going to come with some play. So the pilot hole will correct that. It'll make it follow the exact center and that's the plan. So let's try one out. Well, you'll have to get the idea. So it works great, but I can't do it one-handed. And seems like the bit is wanting to bite into the wood and spin it. Even though I've got this stop here, it's hard to hold it with two hands, let alone one. So maybe I need to increase the drill speed. Don't know, but anyways, purpose is to show you horizontal boring with a drill. Okay, so this last one I'll show you what I've been doing. So I've found it easier to do it using my thumb on the trigger and just kind of goosing it and then pushing slightly. Otherwise it was trying to bind and pull, and when you use the kind of the hold here and the speed control, it doesn't give it enough power when it tries to catch. But then if you put it too much, it'll jerk this thing out of your hands. So all I've been doing is like this. See if I can hold the phone and do it at the same time. Wants to twist just a little bit. But it still puts it right in the center. Okay, that's I got two more. You get the idea?